Trane test range, you learn what makes our heating and cooling systems so reliable. If there's a burn, we'll find it. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Trane, the most reliable for a reason.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Locker Room Chat. I'm John Williams, and we're pleased to have in studio tonight the Anderson County Mavericks basketball team. We have some of their members here, team members. We have Nick Reed, Eli Varner, and Anthony White. And also joining me right here, we have assistant head basketball coach Mitch Couples.
Yes, sir.
Mitch, thank you for being on the show and bringing in some of your players.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Now, Mitch, you're the assistant head basketball coach at Anderson County.
Right.
Head coach is Derek Wallace, and he's giving you duties tonight to come in. And
That's right. Yeah, a lot of times the assistant coach gets to do all the fun work.
Right, all the dirty work.
That's
right?
well, fun.
This is fun. Being on TV, it's all good. And how long have you been an assistant coach for Coach Wallace, or how long has Coach Wallace been there?
Well, he's been there since '98. He was an assistant under Coach Eldridge, who's at Maryville now. And when Coach Eldridge went to Maryville back in '07, he took over as head coach, and I came the next year. So I've been there. This is my 13th year.
Your 13th year
as assistant, yes.
Okay, was you an assistant under Coach Eldridge?
I was not. No, I was at Coach Middle School before that.
Okay, so you've been an assistant with Coach Wallace ever since he's been head coach?
Well, his first year I wasn't, and I came on the next year. So
okay.
He's been there. He's been head coach 14 years this year, and this is my 13th year as assistant.
Okay, if you would just talk a little bit about yourself. Where you're from, your playing career, your family, and your coaching career, and just tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I was born over in West Tennessee and grew up there, Dyersburg, Tennessee, long ways away. Went to high school there, had a very successful program that I was a part of as a player. Was fortunate enough and blessed enough to go play college basketball at Tennessee Tech in Cookeville. And played there for 4 years, and then I met my wife, who is from Anderson County, Karen was Presley, now Karen Couples, and we moved back up here in '95, and I coached at Oliver Springs Middle School, and then Lake City Middle School, and then Norris Middle School, and then I went to the high school.
Okay, you mentioned you played your high school ball at Dyersburg,
yes,
out in West Tennessee, yes. And how successful? You mentioned y'all were successful. Have some state tourney appearances?
Well, my sophomore year, we were 1-2 in the state all year. Ended up making it to the state finals in AAA and lost by 1 point to a team out of Memphis, Christian Brothers private school out of Memphis. And then my senior year, we were top 5 ranked, and we got upset in the region by a team from our own district. So
that's pretty good. Who were some of the players you played against? I know we've talked in the past. some pretty good players.
Yeah, a lot of people probably know Tony Delk that played at Kentucky. He was I actually was a little ahead of him, but he played at Haywood County, and they were in our district. That was our big rival. My sophomore year, we were number 1 or number 2 all year, and they were number 1 or number 2 all year, and we actually upset them. Beat them in the region that year. But they had a kid go to Southeast Missouri, another kid go to a couple of junior colleges. So they were very successful. Just I was being from around Memphis over there. You played against a lot of good competition. Todd Day, I played against him, and played at Arkansas, and then played the NBA for quite a bit in high school. Just a bunch of different players.
And you mentioned you signed with Tennessee Tech.
Yes.
In Cookeville. Talk a little bit about your playing career there at Tennessee Tech.
Well, I was fortunate enough to, like I said, play 4 years. My first year there, actually, I got to play behind and guard every day, the all-time leading scorer in Tennessee Tech history. So I learned how to play defense in college in practice every day.
Who was that?
Earl Wise was his name. He's still the all-time leading scorer there. So he was a very, very good player. Ended up playing overseas for about 10 years after he left Tech. But played with a guy from Memphis named John Best. He played overseas for about 13 years. He averaged about 28 a game his senior year. So I played with some good players there. I was fortunate enough to actually get on the floor occasionally. So it was a good time. It was a good experience.
I might have seen you play in college. Was this in the early 90s?
It was 89 through 93.
Okay. I've heard some stories, or one story in particular. Tennessee Tech, y'all played against Tennessee.
We did.
And I believe Allen Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a story you got to guard him one
well,
game.
I guess you could call it that. I was around him. I don't know if I guarded him. He actually guarded me. I always joke, everybody puts their best player on the other team's worst player, so he was guarding me. If that explains that. So, yeah, he's probably one of the. I would say he's the best player I've seen play in person for sure. He was very, very good. Obviously, we all know how good he was, but he was incredible actually. But their team wasn't that strong that year. We actually played with them most of the game, so they pulled away at the end.
Uh-huh. Now, what position did you play in college?
I usually played small forward. I played for a couple of years, just kind of filled in where I needed to, but I kind of settled into the wing, small forward area.
Uh-huh. Okay, Mitch, we're on with Mitch Couples, assistant head basketball coach at Anderson County High School. And Mitch, you've got quite the athletic family. I know you have 2 daughters and your wife, Karen, that you mentioned earlier. I know both your daughters played college basketball, and Karen, I believe she played. Did she play college?
She did. She was a volleyball player at
right.
Tennessee Tech. She was a very good high school basketball player, but made All-State as a volleyball player. Went to Tennessee Tech on a volleyball scholarship, and that's where we met. And then my oldest daughter, Caitlin, was All-State in volleyball also, but also a very good basketball player, and got a scholarship to play at Carson Newman, and played there from 2013 through 17. And then my youngest daughter, Kristen, she was All-State basketball and ended up going to King University and playing, and she just finished last year from 2015 to 2019. I always joke around, there's 3 All-State players in our family. I wasn't one of them, so they're very talented. So
that's pretty good company.
Yeah.
You share. So that's quite a family you have. I know you're pretty strong in your faith and involved with the church, and
yes, sir.
I just appreciate that, and heard a lot of good things about you.
Well, thank you.
Coaching there in Anderson County, plus you also teach there at Anderson County.
I do.
Yeah. So.
Been there 13 years as a teacher also.
Okay, well, let's meet some of the Coach Couples players, student athletes. So who wants to go first here? Guys, if you would, just introduce yourself and tell us what grade you're in and what's your favorite subject in high school.
My name's Anthony White. I'm in 10th grade, and I don't really have a favorite subject.
My name's Eli Varner. I'm a sophomore, and I like fourth block baseball.
I'm Nick Reed. I'm a senior. My favorite subject is gym.
Okay. Let's look back to Coach Couples here. I know y'all got a good win last night against Carnes. If you would just talk about the season this year for the Mavericks and what it looks like here coming up here, the tournament coming up here in a few weeks.
Well, anybody that knows our team, we lost 6 seniors last year and had very little returning experience coming back. Anthony, Eli, Nick, and Carter Jett played a little bit last year, not a lot of minutes where they had to be really depended on. So we're very young in age and grades. A lot of times we've had 4 sophomores on the floor at one time this year. So we're very inexperienced also in varsity time. So just, anytime you have a young team, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be great plays, and because we do have some talented, we have some size, we're athletic, so we have some great plays, and we'll have some young looking plays, for some youth. So it's been a learning experience for them, and we've just it's actually been a lot of fun coaching them, because anytime you have a young team, you see them grow, you see them get better, not even game by game, but sometimes practice by practice and play by play. You see them learn stuff along the way and just get better.
Right. If you would just talk about the game last night, the win over Carnes. I believe that improved y'all to 3-7 in the district and 12-11 overall. But I know you had a big win there a few weeks ago over Powell. So I think y'all are currently sitting 6th in the district, but you're poised to move up. I believe you got some games here down the stretch. You can put some wins together.
Well, we had most of our games early on the road. We end the season with all home games except for one. So our last 6 games, I think, 5 of them are at home. So we kind of hope that we'll get on a run here and last night kind of started that against Carnes. Really had a slow start last night against Carnes. We got down 18-4, down 20-8 at the end of the first quarter, and then really played a little bit better in the second quarter, cut it to 8 by halftime, and then made a really good run in the third quarter, and then overtook them in the fourth quarter and ended up winning by 10. So we had a really big swing, 18-point swing in the second half. Played really well in the second half. You mentioned Powell. And Carnes and Powell both have beat us before. Powell beat us at home, and we actually beat them at their place. So that was a great win for our kids and our program. There was a big confidence builder for them, because they beat us over 20 points at home. And then we go over there and get a big win in overtime. It was an exciting, hard-fought win. And then Carnes, same thing. We lost at Carnes in overtime, and then came back and had a real strong second half last night and got a big win, district win. So. I think our district is very competitive this year. Obviously, y'all just had Oak Ridge in the studio. They've kind of set themselves apart at the top right now, pulling ahead. I know Clinton had a really close game with them and would have beat them if it went for a last-second 3 there. So you got Oak Ridge and Clinton right behind them, and then everybody else is kind of fighting for those middle 3, 4, 5, 6 spots. So it's going to be a good, fun 2 weeks to see who kind of moves up and who kind of doesn't move up. So,
Right, should be an exciting district tournament coming up in a few weeks in Oak Ridge. I saw y'all score last night that you won. I didn't realize you came back to win. Pretty impressive comeback. I think last night, sort of the night of comebacks. I know in the SEC you had I think 3 teams that came back from big deficits to win, and your Mavericks down 18-4 rallied to win. So that's a good win to have at home. And y'all have Campbell County at home this Friday, correct?
Actually, because of the sickness in the area, our game's been moved up to tomorrow night. We play tomorrow night. All the game times are the same. JV at 4:30, girls at 6, and then varsity boys at 7:30.
Okay, right. Anderson County schools be out Thursday and Friday, and as Coach Couples said, the Mavericks will be playing at home tomorrow night, so everyone make note of that. Anderson County at home against Campbell County. All right, let's turn our attention back to these young men over here. Nick, I know you're the lone senior on the team. If you would, let's talk about your individual and team strength, you think, on the team, your individual and what your strengths of the team are. You play inside. I guess you're pretty muscular kid, looks like.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but being the only senior on the team kind of makes me feel like I should be a leader in certain ways, but sometimes it don't end up that way. Sometimes I make a bad example, but I always tell my teammates it's my fault if somebody scores inside most of the time. And on the team, like on the court, when someone gets beat, I'm always there to step to help their back because I know that they got my back if I get beat off the dribble too.
Take a lot of charges.
Yeah, I have 17, 18
Really? Wow.
in the season.
I bet Coach Couples helps teach you that, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
So he took a few in his day. Okay, Eli, what do you feel like some of your individual strength and also the team strength?
I feel like sometimes, or the majority of the time when we win, we play really well together as a team. And I feel like I try to be a good player and get other people's shots a lot and rebound, try to just help us win. But other than that, we can get emotional sometimes, which is good and bad at the same time. But I don't know. I feel like we'll be pretty good coming up.
Have you had any, was you part of the comeback last night? Did you have how many points did you have last night?
8.
Well, that's a team player right there. He wasn't sure what he scored, so you're just all about winning.
Yes, sir.
You have any dunks this year?
No, sir. Not yet.
Not yet. I've seen you in practice a few days, throw a few down. So hopefully,
Yes, sir.
Hopefully you can get one tomorrow night.
Hopefully.
Okay, Anthony. What would you say some of your strength is, and your team's strengths?
I feel like I'm a pretty good team player, and I don't have that many strengths because I always get hurt. But I like getting rebounds, I guess. That's about all I got.
Okay. I know you've had some injuries in football and been a little slow to come around here in basketball. I heard you had a real good game against Powell. If you would speak about that.
I don't really know. I felt like they gave me the way to drive left, which I like to do. But I just shot. I got fouled a lot, hit free throws, and then going into overtime helped me score a couple more points.
What would you think? What are some of the things y'all need to work on as a team, Anthony?
Being patient and really just whenever someone drives, move to the right spot so they can dump it down to you, and basically just be patient on offense.
Okay, Eli, care to answer that question? What some of the things y'all need to work on here down the stretch?
I agree. We definitely need to be more patient, and sometimes on defense, we don't like to box out, so we need to work on that sometimes. But other than that, I feel like we're doing pretty good right now.
What do you say, Nick?
I'm with Eli, being patient, and we got to box out. We don't really box out or get offensive rebounds a lot, but when we do, we get up there. Defense, we just need to be more in the help side than guarding the guys out in the corner.
Okay, guys, I know I sort of know all three of y'all. I've watched you play other sports. I know if you would just talk about your favorite sport. I know, Nick, you played football and basketball. What is your favorite sport?
I would say football because I like to hit people when I get mad, and I can hit people more than I can in basketball. Basketball, you got to keep your head, and football, you have to keep your head still, but you can't, you can hit them when they have the ball. So that's why I like football more.
Right, you don't want to. You can foul out in basketball, right?
Yeah.
But as a senior, what are your plans for after you graduate high school?
I'm planning on going to TK Alnada for lineman school, and I might get a job in the summer. I don't know yet. Depends.
That'd be a pretty good occupation. I actually know the gentleman. I think it's head of that, I believe. But be a lineman. That's pretty good. You have to be safe doing that, and have to do a lot of schooling for that, definitely. Eli, I know you're a baseball player too.
Yes, sir.
Baseball getting ready to start here. Won't be long, but what's your favorite sport?
I like baseball better, probably because I think I'm better at it. But I like baseball pretty good. But obviously, I like basketball as well, or I wouldn't be playing. I come out here and play for these guys every night. But I like them both. But if I had to choose, it'd be baseball.
Eli, you're a sophomore, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're also a pitcher, right?
Yes, sir.
You play any other positions?
Yeah, I play in the outfield as well.
What do you think about Coach Stooksbury?
I love him. He's a little goofy sometimes, but I like him a lot as a coach. He's pretty cool.
So you haven't been able to, have you been able to slip out and throw any?
Yeah, I actually threw a bullpen today. So I usually sneak out on Wednesdays, go throw a bullpen while we're not having practice. But
I actually saw you pitch. It was in middle school, and I was pretty impressed with you. I think y'all were playing Clinton Middle. Y'all got together and had a game, and that's the first time I saw you. I was really impressed with your pitching. How did you do last year on the diamond?
I started off the year pretty rough, but had a strong close, so it kind of evened out. But if I could start better this year, it'd be a lot better. But I feel like I played pretty good last year as a freshman.
Okay, Anthony. So I tried to recruit Anthony a little bit. I'm a Clinton guy, but I know his sister played basketball at Clinton, and Anthony would come to a lot of the games, and I'd always ask him where he's going to go to school at. But he was always respectful. He said, "Well, I'm not sure I haven't made up my mind yet, but I always knew, pretty sure I knew where he was going." But Anthony's a pretty good football player for Anderson County. Made all-region this year. Had a pretty impressive that you came back from the collarbone injury, correct, Anthony?
Yes, sir.
So you play football and basketball. Are you playing the other sports?
No, sir, just football and basketball.
What would you say is your favorite sport?
Definitely football, but I like basketball. I thought about quitting, but I need to get away from football for a little bit because it's a lot.
You thought about quitting which sport?
Basketball.
Coach Couples and Coach Wallace wouldn't like that too much, I don't believe.
We're happy he didn't make that decision.
Right. 'Cause I've seen him play. You're pretty good in both sports, so hopefully you can stay injury-free. Pretty valuable part of Anderson County football and basketball. Well, guys, as we all know, there's been a tragedy in the sports world. Kobe Bryant killed tragically in a helicopter crash, along with his daughter and seven other of his friends. And I was just going to get all y'all's thoughts on Kobe Bryant. A lot of people say, like in my generation maybe, and Coach Couples, that Michael Jordan, was the player. But like y'all's age, everybody says Kobe. Kobe, relate more to that. You've seen him play. Just give me your thoughts on about Kobe Bryant.
Well, whenever he was playing, I really didn't like him that much because I'm a LeBron fan, and everyone would say, like, Kobe's better than LeBron. but I didn't really think it'd have that big of an effect like seeing him go. But you really see on social media how big of an effect it's had.
Eli.
I feel like it's really sad that such a great ambassador of the game, he kind of changed the game from the way it was to get taken so soon. He was just getting started with his real life. Of course, he had all his daughters and his wife. I can't even imagine what they're going through, but I mean, I just can't believe that he's gone at 41. It's insane.
About you, Nick? Did you have a favorite? You have a favorite player growing up?
No, not really, but I have a Kobe jersey, so I mean, I kind of like Kobe when I was growing up. He kind of got me on the post fades. Ain't gonna lie. I don't know how he did them, but he did. He kind of taught everybody in the NBA right now kind of know how to play, how to make good passes, what passes to make, what shots to take. And he's really athletic. I don't know, but I wish I was the athletic, really.
I didn't realize Kobe Bryant. A lot of people your age, like when they shoot a shot, they'll say Kobe like that, and I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. I'm too old for that, I guess, but that's pretty good. Okay, guys, we'll get y'all's prediction here on the Super Bowl's coming up. 49ers and the Chiefs. Nick, what's your thoughts on the Super Bowl and who you predict to win?
Chiefs for sure.
Are you,
Yeah, for sure.
Is that your favorite team?
No, not really. My favorite team is Green Bay, but they got kind of put out. So I guess I'm going for the Chiefs now.
Right. Don't like what the 49ers did to him.
Yeah, I don't like it.
What about you, Eli?
I think the Chiefs are probably going to win. I don't really want them to because I don't like them that much, but in my opinion, they're going to win.
Who's your favorite team?
If I had to pick one, it'd probably be the Titans because I live in Tennessee.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dylan's a big fan of the Titans, our producer. What about you, Anthony?
I feel like Kansas City's going to win. I feel like Pat Mahomes is just unbelievable. The 49ers have a good defense, but I don't think they have anything for the Chiefs.
Yeah, what about Joey Bosa? Think he's going to get to Mahomes?
Yeah, he will a couple times, but I think Mahomes will escape it a couple times as well.
So all three of y'all are taking the Chiefs, taking the offense, right? Okay.
I'll go down on record as saying 49ers. Absolutely.
Right, 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's myself. Yeah, I'm sort of leaning 49ers. I'm a NFC guy. Okay, guys, before I let you go, I'm going to give a shout out to anybody out there and talk about that, give a shout out, and
Shout out to my parents for being there. They really helped me through my life so far.
I know your mom's here, and
Yeah.
is that some of your sisters?
Yes, sir. That's my two sisters.
About you, Nick.
Shout out to my friends and my family. I have very important people in my life that help me through certain situations. Like my youth pastor, he's helped me through many of my situations I've been through. I just can't thank him enough. I've tried, but he just tells me to be quiet most of the time. So, yeah.
Thank God for giving me the ability to play sports, and thankful for my family for doing whatever they can to make me succeed.
All right, guys. Thank you all for coming in, and Coach Couples, thank you for coming in as well, and
Thank you.
just good luck the rest of the way. I know you've got some big games coming up. Campbell County tomorrow night, and then Halls, and then you got a big one with Clinton
That's right.
next Friday. It's always
Always fun.
fun.
Absolutely.
But we're going to take a break here, and you've been watching the locker room chat here with the Anderson County Mitch Couples, assistant head basketball coach, and some of his players. So we'll be right back here in a little bit.
At Earl Duff Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 8-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews and come to Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
The all-new 2020 Outback is available now with financing as low as 0.9% at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate! I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Rinnai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Rinnai, hot water for all.
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well...
And if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
You don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Chat. I'm John Williams, and thank you for watching the Locker Room Chat. I'm going solo here tonight. A couple of my partners not able to be here. I know Chase Clem, his birthday is today, so I'd like to wish him a happy birthday. I believe he's 39 today, so happy birthday, Chase. And Matt Hagan, he's on assignment tonight. I believe he's covering the middle school tournament. So hopefully he'll be back next week. But speaking of the middle school basketball, it's going on, middle school basketball tournament. Currently underway. There's 3 tournaments I know of going on. There's one in Cofield, one in Robertsville, and one in Clinton. The middle school Area 8 tournament in Cofield, it's down to the championship, and for the boys' side, we got Oliver Springs. They came in as a number 2 seed. They'll be taking on the number 1 seed, the Harriman Blue Devils, in the championship game. And in the consolation, it's the Lake City Lakers. They were a number 4 seed. They got an upset win in the tournament and advanced. And then in the consolation, going up against Midway, they were a 3 seed, so the winner of that game will also advance to the sectional tournament. So congratulations to those teams. Oliver Springs and Harriman will be in the championship tomorrow night at Cofield. In the area tournament, and Clinton was in. I'm not sure on the finals on that. I went and caught some of the games Saturday. I know the Clinton Hawks, the girls and the boys, both were eliminated in the first round. So they both had a pretty good season. So the Clinton girls, they fell to Heritage. They were number 2 seed in the tournament. And the Clinton boys lost a close game to Carpenters Middle School out of Maryville. So I know the Clinton girls, pretty young team, got a lot of talent, 6th and 7th graders. I believe they only had one 8th grader on the team, so they should be pretty strong the next couple years. Coach Christian Land and assistant coach Megan Ellis there for the Clinton girls. And on the boys' side, Clinton boys had several 8th graders that will be moving on to play for Coach Lockard and the Dragons next season. Some good talent there coming up for the boys. Head coach Kenny Spunky White had a pretty successful season for the Hawks. Also, I'd like to read something here. The 3rd annual basketball game coming up between the Clinton Police and the Fire Department will take place on Saturday, February 15th at 7 o'clock at Arrowwood Arena at Clinton Elementary School. It's E.T. Stamey Court. So, as I said, this is the 3rd annual. So if you've never seen this game, you need to come out and check it out. Last year, the Clinton Police Department won the event 56-45. So you can bet the fire department has their eyes set on payback. I did see the first game they played 2 years ago, and it was a pretty physical game. I can't remember who won that. I believe it was, I think the police might have won that one too, so I'm not sure on that, but if you can, come get out and check that out. Last year's game benefited the law enforcement against drugs, the lead summer camp, and it raised $1,500. This year's game will support the Clinton City Schools Blaze athletic program, and admission will be $5 per person. So that is Saturday, February 15th, 7 o'clock at Clinton Elementary School. The phone lines are open, 865-483-8112. Call in if you got a question or a comment. You got the Super Bowl coming up. You got a prediction for that, or you can talk about the Tennessee basketball, the loss last night against Texas A&M. It was a bad loss for the Vols. They had fought their way back up to the bubble, I believe, but that loss last night, I think they might have fell off a little bit, but I didn't get to see the game. I was working at the Clinton Central basketball game, but I understand the Vols were out-rebounded by a sizable margin, and wasn't one of their better games. But the phone lines are open, so call in if you want to talk about anything. Right now we'll look at some of the area high school standings, district standings, and check some scores from last night. Well, we'll go to the polls right now first. So the AP top 10 Class A poll. No local teams in that poll, but Booker T. Washington out of Memphis is number 1. As you look at that poll there, nobody's undefeated. Everyone has at least 2 losses. So Looks pretty competitive there. Most of the teams out in West Tennessee, you got Monterey. That's probably the closest school to here is Monterey down around Cookeville. They're ranked 6th. In the girls' poll, you can see there at number 10, the Wartburg girls have broke into the top 10. They're 16-3. The Lady Bulldogs making the top 10. You got Cloudland there at number 9. Number 1 is Greenfield. If I'm not mistaken, the Lady Vols have a recruit coming in, plays for Greenfield, so they're 21-0, ranked number 1. Clark Range always got a good girls program, 22-2, and there's North Green at number 7 at 18-5. So a few local teams there. So congratulations to Wartburg in the top 10 as they're in a battle in the Region 2, District 3 in Class A with Oneida. Let's move on up to Double A on the boys. Scott right there at number 9. Chattanooga Howard number 10, and that's only local teams right there. Jackson Southside, 21-0, ranked number 1. You got Chattanooga Tyner Academy there at number 4, tied with East Nashville. And Nashville Pearl Cone number 8 on the boys' side. Let's check out the girls. Class AA girls, Macon County ranked number 1, 20-1. Going down the list, Upperman, they're located down around Baxter, close to Cookeville. I think they won the state a few years ago, 19-3. Sullivan Central got a really strong team up in Upper East Tennessee, 21-2. And Granger, as always, 18-2, number 7. They have a player, a sophomore, Tori Rutherford, really outstanding point guard for Granger. They're ranked 7th. And Dyersburg, number 10, Coach Couples, that was in here earlier. They're ranked number 10. That's where Coach Couples played. So they're the girls, number 10, 14-4. Move on up to AAA. You have Cleveland. They're still undefeated. Won again last night over Bradley Central. Houston, I'm not sure where Houston is. It must be out in West Tennessee. Whitehaven, always a strong team, 17-1. You got Mount Juliet. They've been in the state tournament. I've seen them play a couple times over the last few years. Science Hill, I've seen them play twice. They're actually, they lost the other night to last week to Tennessee High Bristol. So Science Hill, I think now 23-2. And you have Maryville at 18-3, number 7. I think Maryville, that's probably the best team I've seen this year. Saw them earlier in the year. They're on a 15-game winning streak right now. So Coach Eldridge has them rolling, and you have the Oak Ridge Wildcats who are really playing good basketball right now. Coach Aaron Green really playing some strong basketball. They will host the Clinton Dragons Friday night in a big district battle in Oak Ridge. So that's a look at these standings. Here's the AAA girls poll. Bradley Central on top. And any other local teams there, you got Bearden, 20-2. Bearden had a setback to the Maryville girls last week. And number 9, Stone Memorial, 19-2. So pretty impressive look looking at teams right there in Class AAA girls. We can go to some standings. District 3A for boys got a really good race going on. Harriman and Oneida both tied. Oneida defeated Harriman earlier in the year. They'll be playing again here in the next week or so. I believe it's coming up next week. But Oneida went to Harriman and won, so Harriman now have to travel to Oneida. But Sunbright knocked off Oneida last week. Sunbright 8-4, really playing good ball right now. The head coach there is James Jones. Used to be the head basketball coach at Clinton Middle School before he went to Blackman and was assistant coach there in Murfreesboro. But Coach James Jones, now head coach of the Sunbright Tigers. And Rockwood and Wartburg right behind them at 7-5. Checking out the other, check out the girls. Oneida girls on top, 11-0. They defeated Oliver Springs last night, a big win for Oneida. Wartburg there with one loss, and Wartburg will be playing Oneida coming up here pretty soon. Oneida has won 12 games in a row, and as I mentioned, they've cracked the top 10 in Class A, so that should be a really good game. Oneida and Wartburg. And Oliver Springs 8-3. Oliver Springs, they will face Wartburg here coming up at home. I believe it's next Tuesday. So big chance there for Coach Christopher and the Lady Bobcats to get a win against Wartburg. Sunbright and Midway, almost about 500, and Harriman, Cofield, Oakdale, and then Rockwood at the bottom. We could check out the District 3 Class AAA. Oak Ridge, undefeated, 11-0, big game against Clinton. Friday night, the Dragons 9-2. They've won 7 straight district games, so should be a real good game there. And Oak Ridge, the Dragons got a big win last night over Central at home. And Carnes 6-5, Powell 5-6, Anderson County 3-7. They got the win over Carnes last night. And Campbell County and Halls. Halls picked up their first district win last night. So we're going to go ahead and take our, we'll go ahead and get the girls right here, the girls' standings. Don't want to leave the girls out. Oak Ridge girls leading 10-1, but they lost last night to Powell. Powell Lady Panthers gave Oak Ridge the first loss, 57-54 last night. So they're all tied up there. Both teams have beat each other, so it'll be interesting to see who wins that. There's a few games left. Also, Lady Dragons lost to Central last night, and another upset. It was Halls spoiling Campbell County's homecoming last night. Big upset there, winning 63-45. We're going to go ahead and take another break, and we'll be back in a little bit, and you're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Rome Metals Group, we treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Rinnai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Rinnai, hot water for all.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports.
At Earl Duff Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 8-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews and come to Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
The all-new 2020 Outback is available now with financing as low as 0.9% at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Welcome back to the locker room chat. Phone lines are open here. We got about 8 minutes left in the show. 483-8112. Please call in if you have a question or comment. Right now, I'd like to talk about the BBB TB12s having a $5 winter sale. If you're looking for a bargain for your advertising dollars, you can run your commercials right here on BBB TB12 for only $5. Any program you would like to run your commercial for $5 per spot, that's quite the bargain. If you want to run it 5 times a show, it would only cost you $25. So give us a call today to be part of our winter $5 sale. Some restrictions apply. You have to have a commercial to get this rate, however. So BBB TB12 can produce you a new commercial if you don't have one. 63-45 over the Lady Cougars. Over on the Class A side, Oneida remained in first, 52-40 winners over Oliver Springs. Wartburg defeated Coalfield 53-48. The Harriman Lady Blue Devils earned a win over Oakdale 40-28, and it was Sunbright defeating Rockwood 64-17. Over on the boys' side, we had the Oak Ridge Wildcats continuing to roll. They throttled the Powell Panthers 92-54. Clinton Dragons got off to a little bit of a slow start. They trailed in the first quarter, but led by 15 at halftime, went on to defeat Central by 17 to win 66-49. Evan Winchester led the Dragons with 21 points. Also, I'd like to mention Jackson Garner. He set a Clinton High School record last week for single game 3-pointers made. He made 10 against the Cougars, so he set the new record. It was held by Darion Jones and Chase Lockard. So 10 threes for Jackson Garner. Some other scores, Anderson County, big win over Carnes, 54-44. The Mavericks now 3-7. We'll be playing Campbell County tomorrow. Game has been moved to Thursday at Anderson County. So be sure to put that on your calendar. Get out and support the Mavericks and the Lady Mavericks. Also, Halls picked up their first district win, defeating Campbell County 67-60. On the Class A side, we had Oneida defeating Oliver Springs 69-38. Oneida on top in that district. Wartburg, big 89 points there over Cofield 66. Also, Harriman Blue Devils over Oakdale 71-48. And it was the Sunbright Tigers winning a close one over Rockwood 40-39. So the Sunbright Tigers continuing to move up in the district. So we got a little bit of time left. Some key games coming up tomorrow night. Anderson County, Campbell County, Clinton and Oak Ridge Friday night. You also have Oliver Springs will be traveling to Oakdale. A key game in their district, Oneida and Wartburg. Also will be playing, and also Harriman will be traveling to Cofield. A big rivalry game there. Cofield 1-18, hopefully pull the upset there against the Blue Devils. On the girls' side, some big games in the area. We have Sunbright at Midway, and of course Clinton at Oak Ridge and Campbell County at AC. So get out and support your local high schools, and it's always fun to watch high school basketball as the tournament's getting close here in a few weeks. Okay, we got a couple minutes left in the show. We got the Super Bowl coming up Sunday. Should be a great game, a really good matchup, I feel. Kansas City against San Francisco. You got contrasting styles. The Chiefs behind Patrick Mahomes, they like to throw the ball, and you got the 49ers who like to keep it on the ground and the strong running attack. Also, they can throw as well with quarterback Jimmy G. So, interesting game there. Coaches, Coach Shanahan for San Francisco, a pretty young coach, and you got Coach Andy Reid at Kansas City, looking for his first Super Bowl win. He was with Philadelphia for years and went to a Super Bowl with them. He was also on the staff with Green Bay, I believe, but chance for Coach Reid to pick up his first Super Bowl victory. And I sort of like the 49ers to win this game. If they're able to run the ball, keep it on the ground, keep it out of Patrick Mahomes' hands, they may have a chance to do that. But Kansas City, the Titans thought they could do that as well, but the Chiefs, it's just a dynamic offense. It really should be a really good game. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching the Locker Room Chat. Be sure to be back next week at 8 o'clock to watch us again. Everyone have a good weekend.